Hey, hi everyone. This week we are still learning about lines, and we are going to make a actually I guess it's kind of a landscape and a waterscape, but a picture with mountains and a river and grass and sun and clouds, and we're going to make it with the different kinds of lines, wavy lines, straight lines, zigzag lines, curved lines, all different kinds of lines, and then we're going to color it with crayons or marker. So you're going to need pencil, Sharpie, or a black marker or crayon, crayons or markers, and of course a piece of paper. Okay, so hit pause, get your stuff together, and let's get to work. All right, so for drawing our picture, we're going to start with a pencil. And we're going to be right at the bottom of our paper here. And notice how I'm practicing with my finger first. This is going to be a wavy line really close to the bottom of the paper. So I'm going to practice with my finger first, so I kind of know how I'm going to draw it and where I'm going to put it. Then I take my pencil, and again, this is a wavy line really close to the bottom of our paper. Not trying to be perfect, I'm just trying to do my best. So you see the little wavy line there, and then I'm going to go up a little bit, about that much, and I'm going to make a straight line that goes across. And again, I'm going to practice with my finger first. I'm doing a straight line that goes all the way from one side of the paper to the other. So again, I'm going to take my pencil and I'm just going to do all the way across. And notice mine's not perfect, but I'm not worrying about that because we're not little art robots. Now, right above this, pretty close to it, I'm going to do another wavy line. And it's really close to this line. It's not touching it, but it's really close. All right? Okay, now we're going to go up quite a bit. We're going to leave a pretty good amount of space, and we are going to make some zigzag lines. These are going to be our mountains, so they're really steep zigzag lines, meaning they go up really high. So again, I'm practicing with my finger. Okay, so now I'm going to try doing it with my pencil. Notice how that one's kind of going off the paper, and that's okay. That's actually a really good thing. So there are my mountains. Hopefully you can kind of use your imagination and see how those are going to become mountains. All right, now we're going to do zigzag lines right here to make them like little snow-capped mountains. So again, I'm practicing first, so I kind of have an idea of what I'm going to do here. Look at that. Isn't that awesome? Can't wait to color it. And one more. Oh, look how cute that is. I love it. Okay, now right here in between these two mountains, we're going to do a curved line. Now, what do you think this is going to become? Yes, it is going to become the sun. You guys are so smart. And I'm rolling my pencil all around. So I'm going to do a curved line, and then I'm going to do another zigzag line that kind of goes around the sun like a little crown. Those are the rays of the sun. And this is a smaller zigzag line. I'm trying to kind of make it even. Like these, we didn't worry about them being even. These we're trying to make them even. But again, we're not trying to be perfect. We're not stressing ourselves out. All right, now we're going to do the little clouds in the sky. And the clouds are going to have a horizontal line. That is a line that goes straight across. So I'm going to practice with my finger. I'm going to have a little short one here. And then here I'm going to have a longer one. and it's actually going to be going behind this mountain. So I'm going to draw a straight line, pick up my pencil, go on the other side of the mountain, and keep going. So again, here, short little line, and then one over here. Pick up my pencil because I don't want to draw on the mountain. There we go. Now remember, if I'm ever going too fast, you could always hit pause so you can catch up. All right, now I'm going to do a curvy line to do the top of the cloud. And another one over here. There we go. Look at that. So awesome. All right, now we're going to take a black Sharpie and we are going to trace over all of our pencil lines. Now, if you don't have a black Sharpie, you can always use a black crayon, or you can use a regular black marker. We just want to trace over all our pencil with something black because it makes it bold and it stands out more and it just looks a lot better. Okay, so I am going to personally use a Sharpie. Okay, so here it goes. First, I'm going to do this little line down here, and I'm actually going to kind of flip my paper over because it's so low, it's kind of hard to get to it. So I'm taking my Sharpie and I'm going right on top of it. Or at least as close as I can. Like you can see it's not perfect there, but I can come back and erase that later. All right, now I'm doing the straight one all the way across. And then I'm going to do the next wavy line. It keeps catching on the corner of that paper. All right, now I'm going to turn it back over because it'll be easier to reach things now. And now I'm going to trace over the zigzag line that made our mountain. Ooh, see how I did that there? Yeah, that is a definite mess up, but I can make that work because this pencil can be erased. So I'm just going to go with it here, like that one's just a shorter mountain. So even though it's not something I'm meant to do, I can find a way to make it work. And then I do the snow-capped mountains. Now I'm going to have to redo my snow cap here because of how I accidentally made it shorter. But again, I can make it work. And that's, again, one of my favorite things about art is things don't have to be perfect. You can make them work. I'm going to have to adjust my sun just a little bit there. Now I'm doing the zigzag line for the rays of the sun. There we go. And then my clouds. And my other cloud. There we go. And so now I'm done with my Sharpie. Now, what comes next? I know you should definitely know. I'm digging around for mine. It is our eraser, okay? I'm going to take my eraser and I'm going to erase all the pencil I can still see. There's some here. And then this is the reason why you don't want to press down hard with your pencil. You always want to draw light until you know you got it right. Or in case you do a mess up like Miss Thompson did a minute ago, because otherwise you can't erase it and then you're going to be a very unhappy little artist. All right, so here I'm going to just erase that and nobody will ever know, except for you guys, that I didn't mean for this to be as short as it is. And I know I say this in all my videos, but the white pearl erasers are my favorite. They're really, really good. Pink pearl erasers are also pretty good, but I prefer the white pearl. I just feel like it erases cleaner. All right, now I'm going to dust it off. Remember, those of you that are at school, actually I guess for this lesson we're all at home still, but don't make a mess with your eraser debris. Put it in a trash can. All right, so now I've got it drawn, I've got it Sharpied, and I'm ready to color. Okay, so for your coloring, you have a couple of options. You can use crayons, or you can use markers, or you can use a little bit of both, okay? I am personally going to use crayons because I like how that works, especially when you're doing a large space. And I'm going to take a green. This one is a forest green. And I'm going to have this little bottom portion of it be grass. And remember what we've talked about before with coloring. You want to choose a direction and stick with it. Okay, so I'm going to fast forward to color this. Okay, so colored my grass. Now I'm going to pretend that this portion right here is water. It's like a river. So I'm going to choose a blue. Let's see, this is a turquoise blue. I think this will look nice. Now again, you choose a direction and you stick with it. You want to cover the white space. Because remember, your job when you're coloring is to cover the white. And so if you leave a bunch of little white spaces, then you're not doing your job. Now you can choose the blue that you want it to be, or if you have an idea for it to be something else, like maybe it's a river or a hot lava or something, you can color it the way you want. And I'm going to fast forward for this part. Now remember, if I'm ever going too fast, you can always hit pause and catch up. In fact, that's probably what you should do right now at this point. So that way we can meet back when we've both colored our water or lava or whatever it is. All right, look how great my water looks. Okay, now I'm going to pretend that this little portion is some more grass. It's the grass on the other side. Now if you have more than one green, you don't want to use the exact same green. So obviously I have more than one green. And let's see here. This is Granny Smith apple, and I think what I used on this one, I think it was forest green, I want to say. But I'm going to try this Granny Smith apple for this green. And it's a little different. It's not dramatic. You can see it's really close. I probably should have chose a yellow green or something, but it's a little late for that now. All right, so you hit pause and finish coloring your grass, and I will fast forward. Okay, so we got that side of our grass colored. Now we're going to color our mountains. Now remember, the little tips or the tops of our mountains are supposed to be snow. So we're going to leave that white because our paper's white, okay? But I'm going to color my mountains a purple color. I just have to decide. This one is a blue violet, which means it'll, have some blue in it. This one is plum. That means it's going to look a little more of a reddish purple. Let's see, what is this? This is just purple, good old-fashioned purple. I think I'm going to go with that. So I'm putting the other two away. And I'm going to actually color at an angle for my mountains, because that way it kind of gives the feel of it going up and down, because after all, mountains go up and down. All right, so you hit pause to finish coloring your mountains, and I will fast forward to finish coloring. Okay, look how great that looks so far. Hopefully you can see how I colored that diagonally, and it gives a different feeling for the mountains than it does for the river and the grass. The river, it makes a lot of sense for it to go side to side because that's how the water flows. And the mountains, because they go up and down at an angle, I colored it that way. So whenever you're choosing your direction, you want to, think that sort of thing through. All right, now we're going to move on to our sun. Now, whenever anyone colors a sun, what color do they instantly look for? Yellow, almost always. But I want to do something a little more unexpected. I am going to take more of a yellow orange. This one is called macaroni and cheese. Yellow orange, that's what I was wanting, yellow orange. And I am going to color the round part of my sun that yellow orange, and I'm choosing a curved direction like my sun. So again, you want to, think it through and make a wise choice. Now, when we're back at school, those of you that are in-person learners, if you're kind of uncertain on what direction, you can always ask me, and I'll be more than happy to look at what it is you're coloring and help you make that decision. And then soon you'll be able to make that decision completely on your own, if not already. So I colored that part of my sun, and then I'm going to color the rays of my sun more of a red orange. That's scarlet. That one's, even though it looks red orange, it usually turns out a little too red. And this one's red orange. Perfect. And coloring that. And that way it's two different oranges, and it just looks a little more interesting. And I'm coloring the rays in the direction of like an upside down V. Very similar to how I colored the mountains, except I'm going left and right with the diagonal. And again, remember, your job is to cover the white, except for the snow and the clouds, of course. All right, now we only have one thing left to color, and that is our sky. Now, you don't want to choose, if you have more than one blue, you don't want to choose the exact same blue you did on the river. You want it to be different. On this one, it was a turquoise blue. That's a blue-green, almost the same thing. It's probably this one. Yes, this was what I did on my water. So I want to do something different. This one is robin egg blue, and you can see it's a little different. It's not dramatic, but it is a little different. This one is sky blue, and I think I'm going to do that one. Although the robin's egg blue could have definitely worked. Alright, so for my sky, I'm going to go side to side and color the sky, and I'm going to do it kind of light so it looks like the sky. And so what you should do now is hit pause so you can finish coloring your sky, and I am going to fast forward to finish coloring my sky. Okay, and look how fantastic that looks. I absolutely love it. Okay, now I've changed up my website just a little. If you want your picture to be in the virtual art show, that means it's online, then you need to take a picture of it and upload it to the Google form. I have two Google forms now. One is for the virtual art show, and then one is for you to get credit for your participation grade. Okay, so be sure you fill out the Google form that says art participation, fill that out, and that way you'll get that portion of your grade. And then if you want it displayed in the virtual art show, be sure you upload that to that Google form. And that's basically it. I enjoyed drawing and coloring with you today. I hope you have a great week, and I may see some of you next week, because that's when we come back for real life in-person learning. And if you're a virtual learner, we'll actually meet live on Teams. So next week should be a good week, and I look forward to actually seeing all of you. Bye.